Yeah, I think we all were very nervous about the start of the SA 20. Oh, no, I can't reveal that, then they'll know everything about me, so keep on guessing. When I got approached, to be part of this franchise, for me it was a no-brainer. To come into this environment and learn from the greats like Lance Kloosner, Gautam, for me was actually the motivation, if you have to ask me. But it's just to be part of this tournament. I think it's such a massive tournament for South Africa, and to help in a small way to make it one of the biggest tournaments potentially in the world was a big motivation. So for me it was one, connecting in a world-class environment with fantastic people, and two, coming back to a country where I've played my whole life, and I'm dying to give back. For me, the coaching part it's amazing because I'm still close to the game. In my heart, deep down, I think if you give me the ball tomorrow, I can step onto the field. I still have that hunger to play. I think when you sit at home and you're watching the games on the couch, as a player who recently retired, you think, or you crave that moments, the atmosphere of the field, the build-up before games. And I think that's the beauty about coaching at the moment. You're still very close to the game, you're still in the change rooms, you're still touring. And I think that's special to be part of. And for me, yes, although I feel young and I can still compete, focusing now on this next step and trying to pick up as much experience, to keep on learning from world-class players, connecting with them, talking about the game, for me, what it's about now, and I'm trying to do so every day, come out and learn. Sort of my first time being involved with the auction. I remember speaking to Lance a couple of times for hours about building a team, and at the end of the day I just sort of gave my sort of ins and outs about certain players, planted a couple of seeds about guys that I thought was going to be suited for these conditions. I thought waking up the next morning in Australia, and I saw a squad. We had a very balanced squad. We covered all bases in terms of fast bowling, with Jason Holder being 7'2", to Chemo being skiddy with spin, with skill. So I was very excited about this squad. A lot of all-rounders, a lot of X-factor players. So yeah, for me it was a big build-up, an exciting build-up to eventually meet the team here in Durban. In almost 4 years, so very excited to be back. I mean, we've had so many fantastic memories here playing in Durban, and being part of a fantastic team back then. Yeah, it's great, fantastic to be back home. And for me the most pleasing thing was in the first 2 games to see 13,000 people at Kingsmead. I remember a one-day game here against India when it was last sold out like that, and the atmosphere at Kingsmead is unique. It's very loud. So that for me was great to see that the fans came out and supported the Giants. And I mean that's at the end of the day is what, as players, that we crave. We crave on that adrenaline to help us to get over the line. And hopefully now we can put on a couple of more solid performances, and the crowds will keep on coming, and we can make this tournament very successful. Well, like I said, we had a very quality group of players. For me, it was, just I've seen a lot of them on TV, like a Chemo Paul, and to see them in person and to just see their skills on the first day was mind-blowing. We had a lot of quality in this unit, and it was amazing for me to see the energy and the professionalism from day one. Some of those guys also travelled a long way, travelling from the Caribbean, travelling from the UK, Reece Topley. But from the word get-go, it was no sort of asking guys to get ready. They were all set to go, all padded up, all strapped up. And from ball one, I can honestly say there was a good competition between bat and ball. That's a most important thing. To get these guys, you can have the squad, the players, but you need these guys to gel. You need these guys to. And I thought Lance did it perfectly. There's something very informal, music, a couple of drinks, and the setting was in such a way that it allowed for guys to communicate, it allowed for guys to connect, and you could sort of sense and you could feel walking away and getting on the team bus that that ice was sort of broken. I think we all were very nervous about the start of the SA 20. Just in fact if the people are going to support it. And I think we're all blown away when we saw that first game, it was sold out. People in South Africa, they love their sport. We always see with rugby, always see with cricket. You know, if there's quality on show, people will come and support. And I think with COVID also, you know, people are hungry for good quality cricket. So in terms of that, I think, you know, we've nailed it with the support and the attendance and the quality on show so far. So the expectations for me is for this tournament to grow. Hopefully, you know, other international players will see, you know, how good it is to play cricket here in South Africa, how special it is to be part of amazing franchises where, you know, they really care about the players. It's player first here. And yeah, this tournament can just grow from strength to strength. It's honestly a country where it's easy to travel to. I mean, your longest flight max is 2 hours, so it's not long flights or buses and stuff like that. And like I said, it's a fantastic country with plenty of activities and food and wine and dine. So, you know, it ticks all the boxes for a fantastic comp. It's just not up to us to make it really special. This competition so far has shown that any team can beat anybody on a day. There's no real hot favourites, if I can say that. You know, the travelling so far, I think, is the biggest challenge at the moment with back-to-back games, travelling sort of to different provinces. But you know, we're all in the same boat. So for me, it's the team that can work through that, and senior players that can step up and lead the way with that is going to be key. But like I said, the teams are very evenly matched. We've seen it. It's every game so far has been a close game or up and down sort of game. And I think that's going to be the trend of this competition. There's no hot favourites. It's guys that are really, you know, rocking up the day and playing the small margins well, and yeah, paying attention to those little finer things, and that is, you know, getting over the line on tough conditions with travelling. For me, it's about the individuals, you know, reading the play and then acting instinctively and coming up with the game smarts. We've got a lot of international experience, we've got a lot of first-class experience, we've got a lot of clever guys, smart guys for me in that side. So one, yes, we need to somehow try and get the conditions right, but I trust and I believe that our guys will be smart enough to adapt to the conditions, and yeah, hopefully they can do that. I've experienced so many options, so I think, so, you know, sometimes you can look at it as a good and a bad thing. You know, as a captain, you don't want to leave a guy sometimes with too many options, but I think, you know, in T20, in this format, anybody is allowed, or someday you're going to have an off day, so at least that gives Quinton the freedom in terms of, you know, of options if somebody is slightly off. And like I said, we've got guys of different heights and different skills that on the day can play the conditions. So it's about Quinny reading the conditions as well as possible, and from there, you know, bringing his all-rounders into the game. No, for sure. I think, you know, we've played a lot of golf. We've had a lot of fun nights out so far. So I honestly can say that this team has gelled very, very well. And just sort of sensing the team room, even after a loss, that the guys are, you know, picking each other up. It's not like, you know, individuals going into their own pockets and really focusing on their own games and in a selfish way. There's really, you know, international guys going to the local guys and picking them up and talking them through the game plans and stuff like that, which is great. Lies ahead, hopefully, you know, a place in that semi-final and finals, and that's the dream. But yeah, it's not going to be easy. We'll have to, you know, be smart. We'll have to be, you know, hungry for that. But in terms of that, you know, lifting the trophy is obviously the ultimate dream. I do believe we've got the squad to do that. So yeah, for us, it's, you know, taking sort of each game, you know, play every game to the best of our ability, and then from there, hopefully, you know, get the silver lining at the end of it. Yeah, I think that's the challenge, especially with a young family, 2 boys. You know, for me personally, I did that for a long period. But once you get that family, and once you sort of, you know, once they reach a certain age and they ask where you are, it does get challenging. But at the end of the day, you know, for me, this is what I want to be. I want to coach. I'm looking for opportunities, and you know, you have to find a way, like all the players do when they leave their families for Christmas and New Year's and birthdays like that. You need to find a way to you know, block that out. But once you're off the field, I think nowadays with WhatsApp, with, you know, all that, it makes life slightly easier. So yeah, I think it's just picking your timing to really connect with your family when you do get the opportunity. I don't know, I think for me, I've learned just fantastic life lessons over the years. I think it's important to keep your feet grounded. Yeah, because, you know, life can change quickly. So I think that for me is just having good sort of values in place and trying to live according to that daily. But definitely me. I just didn't get enough opportunities with bat and ball. Oh, no, I can't reveal that, then I'll know everything about me. So keep on guessing.